Episode 498. Completing the Heavenly Domain Challenge at level 50. If this had happened to an ordinary player, it would have been enough to shock the entire venue right from the start. But now that everyone knew it was Ye Chu, a top-tier god of the pro scene, attempting this, the shock in the hall finally subsided a little. But no matter how you look at it, this was still an unprecedented, utterly insane undertaking. When the Heavenly Domain setting was opened, Glory's level cap was already 55. This quest was made available at level 50, allowing players to gradually work on completing it while they continue to level up. The Heavenly Domain's challenges included brutally difficult combat, as well as many feats that required time to accumulate, like the win-loss requirements in the arena. Back then, it wasn't impossible to complete the Heavenly Domain Challenge at level 50. After all, you were only 5 levels short. No one ever managed it, simply because the quest was so long and involved. Many players started it at level 50, only to accidentally level up before they could finish it. And as the level cap continued to rise, the difficulty of the Heavenly Domain's challenge quest kept increasing. And now, with the level cap at 70, trying to complete the Heavenly Domain Challenge at level 50 is naturally seen as impossible. But for a top-tier god like Ye Chu, that's a different story entirely. The shock was real, but no one found it unbelievable. Instead, they began to seriously consider, if he was going to charge into the Heavenly Domain at level 50, just how much preparation time did that leave them?
That's all I have to say.
Blue River took his bow and left the stage. In the end, this guy had only managed to identify the problem. As for solving the problem, he merely suggested a concession regarding the new server situation, a proposal that was, of course, deeply unpopular. But for Blue River, after voicing all these realizations, he suddenly felt a weight lift from his shoulders.
Could it be that I no longer want to bear any responsibility for Lan Shige?
Blue River was rather taken aback by this realization. Meanwhile, in the discussion group, the conversation continued to unfold.
To be honest, if Ye Chu's threat is that significant, the best way to handle it is to snuff him out in the 10th server. If he can never level up and make it to the Heavenly Domain, that would be perfect.
Zhang Yu said.
That's easy to say, but how do we stop him? Right now, he's the one trying to wipe out our entire elite team.
Tian Nanxing said.
Blue River has a point. Given the current situation, we really don't have any way to deal with him.
Misty Rain Lock Tower replied.
In a naval battle like this, unless we're up against another pro team, we just don't have the numbers to pull it off.
Horse Treading West Wind said.
So we really have to back down in the new server and settle the score in the Heavenly Domain.
And still, some were muttering.
If Ye Chu's identity were to be made public, I think his guild's strength would instantly jump into the top 10.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm a huge fan of Ye Chu myself. If I could really start a guild with him, it makes my heart itch just thinking about it.
They all looked at him with utter contempt.
If Ye Chu really builds up his guild, forms a team, and returns to the Alliance, that would have an impact on the entire pro scene, wouldn't it? Perhaps, if we report this situation to the higher-ups, they might even send a pro player to intervene.
Then Southstar added.
Just look at how all the pro players at the All-Star Weekend feel about Ye Chu's return. Everyone's looking forward to it. Even Han Wenqing is, and he's Ye Chu's arch-rival.
Misty Rain Lock Tower replied, That's what gets shown to the public on the program. Of course you have to look gracious and dignified. We all know how that works.
Ma Ta Shifeng said, Bullshit. Our captain is absolutely not like that.
Zhang Yu said. And at the same time, similar scenes played out across the board. Guild leaders everywhere jumped to defend their own players, insisting their picks were the real deal, while everyone else was just putting on a show for the public. In that moment, they were no longer guild leaders, they'd become the #1 superfans of their own teams and players. To defend their guild's honor, they argued back and forth, the squabble lasting a full 10 minutes. Spring Breeze, who was usually quiet because he disliked chatting via messages, was fortunate enough to have avoided the argument. His mind remained clear, and he swiftly sent a barrage of emojis flooding the screen. Seeing it was Spring's intent, and that he'd sent several messages in quick succession, Everyone took it seriously and quickly stopped their bickering.
The club's stance is what matters.
Once the crowd had quieted down, the clear-headed spring elder typed out 8 words. Everyone understood immediately. The players' attitudes were just personal opinions. To actually send pro players into the game, the clubs themselves would have to be on board.
The club stance.
Zhang Yu repeated these words for no apparent reason. Everyone immediately sensed he was about to say something, and a hush fell over the room.
I've decided. Herb Hall will adopt Blue River's suggestion. We'll concede in the new server and withdraw first.
To everyone's surprise, Yang Yu didn't speak first. Instead, the words that came were from Tian Nansing. The discussion isn't even over yet. How did he suddenly come up with a plan? The others were still confused and wanted to ask for clarification, but South Star had already left the discussion group. Naturally, this included the 10th server branch leader of Herb Garden, Carriage Seed.
This is a bit strange.
Seeing Tian Xing back down, Yan Yu Suolo immediately said,
True, he suddenly backed down. What's he really scheming?
The crowd began to murmur and speculate.
Could it be like this?
Zhang Yuzhong, who had been cut off by Tian Nansing earlier, finally spoke up.
We're already in the second half of the season, a time when every team is in a tense, all-out sprint. To go and bother them now, to make the pro players divert their attention to deal with these trivial messes in the game, forget whether the club would even be happy about it. I think none of you actually want that either, right? After all, we're running around in the game to support the team and help them achieve good results, not to drag them down with our own problems. Given the current situation, if we really have to settle this through combat, it won't be a matter of just one fight. Everyone knows how much effort it takes to chase someone down in the game. If the club takes the initiative to step in, that's fine. But if we have to go and ask for it, that would be putting the cart before the horse.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Zhang Yu's lengthy explanation won everyone's agreement.
That guy Tianxing probably thought of this too, but he's a sneaky one. He didn't want to deal with it himself, but he didn't say it outright. He left us here, knowing someone on our side would bring up the club. They get to pick up the pieces, and their team doesn't even have to lift a finger. Perfect for them.
Tianxing really is a piece of work.
The entire group looked at Tian Nansing with utter contempt.
Honestly, he didn't need to go that far.
Go on, tell us.
Everyone seemed to support Zhang Yu because deep down, they all knew he must have a pretty solid plan in mind. Otherwise, he wouldn't have so bluntly called out Tian Nansing's intentions. Otherwise, if he'd realized the same thing but had no plan, he would have just slipped away quietly, just like Tian Nansing did. Everyone in the guilds understands the situation perfectly. They just don't say it out loud. They'd all just cursed Tian Nansing for being a piece of work. But in everyone's eyes, no one here was a piece of work.